Thank you so much to our new members, and we are so excited that today marks the beginning also of our generosity campaign. The theme for this year is Planting for Our Future, and we're excited over the next several weeks to dream together, weeks, months, and years really, about how our ministry investments today will help people flourish in faith for decades to come. Over the next several weeks, we're going to share our goals for this campaign. We're going to tell you how you can get involved, and we're going to inspire you with stories about all the good work happening already at Wayzata Community Church. And now Steve is going to share the main goals that we have for this campaign.
Well, back in 2019, we brought in around $2.9 million in terms of annual giving. And now, over the past 4 years, we're about $250,000 lower than that in terms of our giving, and that has stayed flat for the last several years. And so, as we approached this generosity campaign, we knew we needed to do something a little differently. So we retained the services of a fantastic generosity consultant, Mike Ward, and he's helped us with our strategy and to put some flavor into this campaign. So here's the main goal. We want to raise our pledges by $8,000 per week, or $400,000 over the annual basis. And if you take a look at this insert, or this handout that you got given, it says Planting for the Future. That's our generosity theme. You'll see on the back of it, as transparently as we know how to do, there is a chart that says, here's each level of giving at WCC, how many people are at that level, and you can see where you are. And you can also see where we hope to be. And so it is our hope that we get there together. Now, we had a couple of meetings with some of our lead donors, because we wanted to ask them to help us get off to a really good start. And as of last Friday, we heard back from 13 of them, and we're already at $1,000 extra per week that they have committed to raise their pledges by. So this is an exciting time. We're going to let you know how you can be involved in the pledge campaign in the coming weeks. But first of all, we wanted you to hear today a fantastic story.
So one of our priorities, always as the people of God, is to reach out and serve the world. And so I'm going to invite Ann Shaw to come forward. She's going to give you a snapshot of how many of you have already been involved in doing great mission in our community. Welcome, Ann Shaw.
Thanks, Ann.
Thank you. So, if you think I'm going to get up here and tell you about all the great things we're doing for new refugees among us, cancel that thought. Instead, I want you to hear how they have transformed our lives. A little bit over a year ago, Vicki Thompson reminded us of a biblical passage to welcome the neighbor. Welcome the stranger and make the stranger your neighbor. And Peter, her husband, said, if Vicki says we're going to do something, get out of the way, because it's going to happen. So we all jumped on board and welcomed the strangers. So think about this for a moment, please. What if you had to flee your home today because you weren't safe and you could not provide for your family? You had to leave everything behind, maybe even a lot of your family members behind. And you had to end up in a strange place where you were greeted by strangers who are asking you to trust them. Why would you? Your life has been filled with untrustworthy people. And that's what happened with us. So these folks that we have welcomed, we are so, so grateful to them because they've shared with us their stories, their hopes, their dreams, and their friendship. A year ago, we greeted the Daher family, and here is us at the airport greeting them. The Daher family consists of a mom, a dad, and 2 adult children. They fled Somalia 15 years ago and have been in South Africa waiting for their lottery ticket to be allowed to come to the United States. The mom and dad have no English. The children, impeccable English. These this family came here, and the signs that you saw a moment earlier were made by our middle school and high school students. Beautiful signs greeting them. And we welcomed them to an apartment in South Minneapolis. We put out a needs list to all of you, and with 48 hours, every single item you would need for an apartment was provided by you and your generosity. And a lot of people jumped in for one and done, really valuable help. They showed them how to use public transportation, where the library was, where's the local Y, how to find a job, what's the whole process for signing up for some medical care here, etc. Others have spent a lot of time with this family and have now become very, very close. Indeed, Abshura, the adult daughter, had to leave her husband behind in South Africa, and he's still trying to get here, and she came pregnant with their first child, who was, I am so, so grateful to tell you, I was asked to be a birth partner for this child. So I got to be in a mountaintop moment when baby Manal was born. And you can see, I could just sit down and show you pictures, right? You can see how beautiful this family and loving they are. And they have really graced us with their friendship. Our second family we've greeted is Keba, who is a Liberian young woman with a 20-month-old daughter, Naomi. Keba came to the United States as a teenager. She was violently human trafficked. She has a horrific story that she shared with a few angels among us who have stuck with her as she shares her story and trust, which is really difficult for her. And we are so grateful once again that she trusts us enough to do that. So Keba, because she came here not as a refugee status, is unable to work. And you can imagine that providing an entire apartment, which once again all of you did, the first time we met Keba, she had an empty apartment. Seriously, nothing except a porta crib for her baby and a couple of kitchen items. The first trip to Target, she sheepishly asked us, "Do you think I could get a pillow and a blanket for my floor?" And we, the generosity of all of you, she now ends up with an apartment where she can raise baby Naomi. Keba can't work yet. She's not legally able to, so as you can imagine, it costs a lot to sustain her in an apartment with all of her expenses until she's able to work. And so thanks to your generosity and to the support of the Mission and Outreach Board, we're able to continue this really fantastic work. Any of you want to get involved, please let us know. We always have room for more. We're going to hopefully welcome another family later this fall, and we really hope you can jump in with us. Otherwise, just pray for us. Sometimes collecting quarters so they can go to the laundromat with them is really, really great for these folks. So you can do little things or get to know the family even better. So let me end with a reminder that all of these folks are made in God's image. And we are so delighted to see God in them. When I was in the hospital, when Manal was being born, during that 48-hour labor, I went to talk to the midwife about something that concerned me. And I said, listen, I know I'm kind of out of my lane here, coming to talk, because, what status do I have? Although, a little aside, one of the first doctor appointments, the Abby introduced me as the grandma, and the nurse said, oh yeah, I can see the likeness. She and I still laugh a lot about this. Anyway, so I said, I am really out of my lane here, but let me, tell you about a concern I have. And the midwife looked at me and said, no, you're in the advocacy lane. You're right where you should be. And I said, I am in the love lane. Thank you all for being in that lane with me and with us, all of the folks doing this work. Because I know that a lot of magnificent, terrific things happen around here, not only in this work, but in all sorts of other ways. And I hope that we all recognize that we're in the love lane. Thank you for your support and prayers.
Every one of us has a gift to offer, and every gift we offer matters. They won't be the same gift, but when we put them all together, we can do more as the people of God than any of us could do by ourselves. So you are invited to begin praying about how you will participate in this campaign this year, and we give thanks for every one of you and the way you share your gifts in this place.